This is the MoCo Show Podcast. If it's happening in Montgomery County, we're talking about it. Here are your hosts, Steve Solomon and Alex Saronis.
Welcome to the MoCo Show Podcast. I'm Steve Solomon along with Alex Saronis. This is episode 53 of the show. We're live at Denizens in downtown Silver Spring today and joined by the owner, Julie Verratti. Hi, Julie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Doing good. Thanks for having us out here. You might be able to hear the partying and atmosphere of Denizens in the background a little bit. It's trivia night, right?
It is trivia night.
Tuesdays are trivia night.
Every Tuesday in Silver Spring.
And if you paid attention to the weather last night, as Tuesday night, we released this on Wednesdays, the storm was a brewing as we came in. It got windy and rainy, and I wouldn't want to be outside. Like, I hope she's not going to have us outside.
No,
oh, my God. We're going to die out here. But
well, so many people were worried about trivia. Like, I got a message privately, and luckily you had responded, so I was like, oh, no, trivia's going, it's going to be fine. But people were like, are you taking the place of trivia? I was like, no, we're just going to be somewhere else.
Yeah, it's funny that the person on Twitter, they tweeted us every Tuesday, like, is it going to be outside? Where's it going to be?
Yeah.
And so as soon as they saw you guys were coming, they were like, what's happening with trivia?
We like the MoCo Show.
I actually expected them to ask a question about it.
Is that your most popular feature? I know you have music. I know you have company and parties.
I think trivia on Tuesdays has turned into this sort of like, and you find this, I think, anywhere that has trivia, it turns into this like a cult following where it's like, I am there for trivia on this day.
I was at Rira in Bethesda every Wednesday night for about 3 years doing trivia.
Our intern, John, he likes trivia every Wednesday. I think he goes to like World of Beer.
All right.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're actually launching trivia starting July 17th every Wednesday at the Riverdale Park location.
That's right.
Awesome.
2 locations, downtown Silver Spring, right at the corner near of Georgia and East-West Highway, and in Riverdale.
Yeah, we're right on Route 1, right near the corner also of 410 of East-West Highway.
And Archie frequents that location. Is that Riverdale? That's where they were, like Archie the comic.
Archie Comics?
Okay.
It's funny because you got to do social media when you have a business, and I always almost end up doing hashtag Riverdale, and I'm like, nope, got to add the park. Because that's
Riverdale, California?
People.
What's going on here?
Exactly.
That's true. Well, Alex is the social media guy. I do it just for business as well. I'm not good at it.
Nice.
He's good at it. So Denizens, if you don't know, has been here how long, Julie?
We are actually celebrating 5 years this July.
All right.
Yeah, we're throwing a huge party on July 13th. And one of our favorite cities that we as owners really love is New Orleans. So we're throwing a big New Orleans-style themed bash. We're going to have a Zydeco band. We're going to have a drag show. We're going to have...
Trivia?
No trivia. No trivia, unfortunately.
For the anniversary show?
I know.
How was the drag show last week?
Fantastic.
I heard good things. I saw some clips, too. It looked awesome.
Yeah, it's the House of Stone, spelled H-A-U-S, and they're basically our resident drag troupe. We do a drag show here every month, and we were excited to be able to partner with Councilmember Evan Glass for his Pride events in June. So we sort of partnered together on that and just blew it up and made it even bigger than it usually is. And
awesome.
It was really cool.
And another cool feature of Denizens, you're a dog guy with Nash. I got 3 dogs. Dog friendly outdoors, right?
Absolutely.
You can bring your dogs.
Garden,
So when I told someone I was coming here, they're like, oh, you're going to bring your dogs? I'm like, well, first of all, I have 3, and it's tough to hold them during the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll be outside. And they're horrible with other dogs. But if you have dogs that are friendly to people and other dogs, as most are, bring them on by.
My dogs have never been here.
Oh, see?
They're kind of they're great with people.
Exactly.
They're bad with other dogs.
My dogs are in our home. They're fabulous with each other, with people, with us. You bring them outside and see other dogs barking. Yip, 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 yip. Like, and they're little, 2 little yapper dogs. I'm like, oh, that's not good. She'll kick us out of here. She's like, why did I let the MoCo show here? Steve's an idiot. He brought his loud dogs. But no, you can bring your dogs here.
We got about 100 dogs on Twitter. I did the Dogs of MoCo tweet, and I had everyone kind of drop their dog under it. We got about 100 dogs under there.
It was great.
So it's pretty cool.
I clicked on everyone. So all you did was like, this is Nash. Let me see your dogs of MoCo. And Nash had his little bow tie on.
He did.
Rocking the bow tie. And everyone tweeted their dog. It was some people I knew. I'm like, I didn't even know they had a dog. And dogs are my favorite thing in the world. They're
dogs are great, and dog people
best.
are great people.
They are good people. If you're not a dog person, I have no time for you. That's my first barometer of if I don't like someone. Like, they're not a dog person. I'll find someone else.
Nice.
So I might have to attend this New Orleans themed party. I'm going to New Orleans in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so I got to prepare.
That's right.
By coming here first.
That's great.
And having a good time.
That's right.
So 5 years ago, when you all first opened, you kind of something happened to allow you all to kind of open here. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah. So in 2013, when we were planning the brewery, when you open a business in this area, whether it's Montgomery County, Prince George's, D.C., Virginia, etc., for better or worse, you have a choice of jurisdiction. Like, you can live in Maryland and open a business in Virginia, right? And so I spent some time looking through all the little rules and regulations when it comes to opening a brewery. And everything about Montgomery County seemed right, except for two things, right? But at the time, there was the Nighttime Economy Task Force that former county executive Ike Leggett had started, and I reached out to the task force. I had a bunch of meetings with Hans Riemer, still current county council member Hans Riemer, and talked to him about it and said, hey, these are the two things that if you're able to change these rules, we can get our doors open, and I think we'll really be set up for success. Not only that, I think that this county will actually explode in craft breweries.
So it was your idea. I didn't know that, because Hans, you'll see him at every brewery opening. Hans is there. Yeah. He's very supportive.
He's extremely supportive. And honestly, if it hadn't, because yes, I'm the business owner. I was the advocate that was in Annapolis, was talking to the county council, talking to the county delegation about the situation, and I testified, I did all the things, but it wasn't just me who did it. You got to have actual elected officials who vote on the rules. And Hans has been an advocate since day one on this stuff. Right. I think he really sees it as growing the local economy. He sees it as making Montgomery County a place where younger generations, whether you're talking about millennials and Gen Z as they're coming up, they want to buy homes, start a family, and live in Montgomery County, but they want things to do. And craft breweries are great because not only are you bringing manufacturing back to Montgomery County, it's also wholesale distribution, it's hospitality, it's community spaces, and I think he really saw that 6 years ago, and we worked together and got those rules changed. So you see a lot more local beer in the local mom and pop beer and wine shops, and the reason for that is that we got a carve out so that small breweries like us and True Respite and Astrolab and Seven Locks, you name it, we can send our beer to these beer and wine shops directly and completely bypass the DLC. And so you now have access as a consumer to all of this fresh beer. I mean, there are days where we will package our beer in cans that morning, and it is on the shelf in your local beer store.
Wow, that is
afternoon.
Fresh. That's fresh beer right there.
That doesn't work with the DLC. There's too many layers.
The DLC just changed their name, I think.
Oh, it's ABS now.
Yeah, the ABS.
Alcohol Beverage Services or something?
Yeah. I think
they're
it's like
trying.
Alcohol and Beverage Service or something like that. Yeah,
Listen, they're trying.
Yeah.
I don't want to rag on them too much because I know that they're trying to change the culture and get better at what they do. I mean, the deal is the law is what the law is.
Right.
They have to exist right now.
Right. They don't. They didn't make the laws. They are an agency that enforces it, sort of, kind of thing.
How about 10 years down the road? Do you think they exist?
I think they probably still exist. Maybe not. I've been wrong a bajillion times before. But I see them maybe being in a little different avenue. So, like, maybe they are just in charge of spirits, kind of like the way Virginia's set up, where they got the ABC stores, and you buy all your liquor at the state-run stores, but beer and wine is private. So...
Have you thought of since you're the first one here in Montgomery County to jump into the local brewery business, now that the wineries are coming to Montgomery County, have you thought of that? Have you thought of maybe Denizens expanding into wine?
Denizens wine,
huh? No, definitely not. Definitely not wine. Not going to happen. No. And probably not spirits either. So
how
I like to drink those things.
There you go. You can work some trade with the Ag Reserve. Get a case up there, case down here. So a little bit about your background. I read up on you because all I knew about you was Denizens and that you ran for lieutenant governor.
I did. I got my butt kicked.
I got my butt kicked running for county council. Yeah. So, getting our butt kicked. It happens. So, but I saw that you were in part of the Small Business Administration, doing policy for them. You're part of the Brewers Association.
Yep.
So that helped you in your policy background. because I do radio for a living, so be like, what do you know about running for council? What are you going to do if you're elected? I'm like, well, I'm a lifelong citizen here. I think I got some ideas, as did you and Alec, who I got to meet.
Yeah, no, I followed your campaign, man.
Well, thank you.
I read up on you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So I thought, well, how did you get into the beer business? Was this something you like? You know, when I grow up, I'm going to open a brewery, and that's going to be cool.
No, I mean, I think, and honestly, I don't think I'm that unique for my generation. You know, I'm one of those, what I guess they refer to as Xennials. So I was born in 79, so I'm technically Gen X, but I'm like the last year of it. So I also relate to millennials a lot. So I'm kind of like right there in the middle. I don't think any of us really have careers. It's like you graduate college or not graduate college, and you start somewhere, and that's where you are.
You went to law school, right?
I did. Yeah. I'm an attorney.
Awesome.
I used to work on political campaigns. I used to be a manager at coffee shops.
Yeah.
You know, I've done the whole gamut. I was a personal trainer at one point, working in fitness. You know, I've done all of this sort of zigzag.
Right.
I think part of it for me is that I like to continue learning, and I like to continue trying things. And I started homebrewing a lot when I was in law school. And I really fell in love with craft beer and the culture behind it and the science behind it and the art behind it. And honestly, I'm not actually very good at brewing beer myself. I just don't – to make beer well, especially on a commercial level – you have to be really, really, really into details and repetition and SOPs and, like, all of the things, right? Write everything down. Do the same thing. That's not my personality. So every once in a while I'd make a good one, but I couldn't repeat it.
Really?
Luckily for me, my brother-in-law, Jeff, who is one of my business partners, he had been a professional commercial brewer for a number of years. And so my wife, Emily, and I convinced him, hey, Jeff, do you want to come open Denizens with us? And that was, you know, we had that conversation in 2012, and a year and a half later, we opened our doors.
Nice.
So we got him to move out from Colorado and start the business with us. So, you know, he makes the beer, I sell the beer, and Emily does a lot of the business operation stuff. And so I think it works well as a partnership. We all kind of, like, sit in our lanes where we're good at certain things. Right. We're not so good at other things.
I saw you're also Chief Branding Officer, which you've done well because Denizens is known throughout the county. You got something going on here every night, so job well done with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is weird to me as a small business that I have the name Chief in my title. It makes me uncomfortable because it's like I look around and I'm like, am I a chief? I don't know about that. But I mean, honestly, we changed our titles about 6 months ago. We did it on purpose because we realized when we were calling ourselves director of things, which felt more comfortable to me, we were actually stopping the folks that work for us, like, you know, our almost 50 employees.
Yeah.
They had no room to grow.
Right.
Because if I'm the director, all you can ever be is a manager. Right? And so we gave ourselves a title bump to chief, so that we could create a runway for succession planning and a pathway for our employees to grow in their careers. So if you're a manager now, you can be a director. Then if you do well, you can be a VP, you know? So
that's good.
That's why we did that.
In radio, I mean, I started 20 years ago, and I was a board op, and I was making the minimum wage, and we had producers and executive producers and hosts, and I became a producer, and then, like, I promoted again after a few years. Like, you can be an executive producer. I'm like, executive? I'm not an executive. I wear this every day. I don't know if I want executive in my title. I'm a t-shirt and jeans person.
Yeah, I mean, look at me, Steve. Like, come on.
All right. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Anyone who puts executive, come on. Anyway, I'm not kidding myself. I don't need to kid other people. You know, I know what I do and other people do. So Julie runs the show here. That's what she does. That's what we tell.
Sometimes.
That's right. But yeah, it's my first time here. Alex and I, we've told other brewers, we're not expert connoisseurs of craft beer. We went to True Respite. They're like, what do you want? I'm like,
whatever you have.
Whatever you think is
Does it
good.
have alcohol in it? I'll take it.
Right? Because I told her, like, I don't like Guinness, that kind of stuff. She's like, how about a Pilsner? Sure. And it's good.
Thank you.
I like lighter beers that are not like Guinness. So, you know, people are like, it's like wine, too. I don't know a thing about wine. Someone's like a Cabernet or a What's the other?
Like a Merlot.
What's
Merlot.
the other one?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know there's red and white. Pinot is one.
Well,
right?
Noir and Grigio.
Yeah.
I don't even
Noir
know.
tends to be a little bit lighter bodied.
See, you know
red.
your wines. Denizen's wine is opening. You're lying to us.
That's the extent of what I know about wine.
Okay, all right.
That's it.
Fair enough.
So I've been here before. My wife actually loved coming to Denizens. My buddy Andrew used to work here. Andrew Valier.
Oh, yeah. You know Andrew?
Yeah.
He's great, man. We're bummed he's not with us anymore. But
yeah, I mean, he's in D.C. now, and he's like
doing
traveling
his
the
thing.
world and stuff. But
He's doing his thing.
We came a couple times when he was working, and it was just like a fun time. You know, we were outside on the patio.
Nice.
My buddy used to live down the street in the Silverton or something like that, right next door, and came here when you all first opened a couple times. So I've been here plenty. I live in Gaithersburg. It's kind of like a longer drive for me, but
Sure.
anytime I'm in the area, stop by Denizens.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we
Glad
appreciate
you guys are here.
All right, let's talk about some other openings and closings.
Sounds good.
Of the week. We talk about different businesses opening and closing. Hopefully more openings than closings.
Hopefully.
But every week we do a little of both. It's the way business is. So today, right, or yesterday, Dave & Buster's opened.
Dave & Buster's had their first day yesterday.
Yeah.
I went last week. It was cool. A little smaller than the White Flint location. Kind of similar to this location here in downtown Silver Spring, but it's Dave & Buster's. It's cool.
Where's that one open?
This one's opened in Rio.
Okay.
So it's in Gaithersburg and Rio, right on the lake. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw you were at the preview opening. You had like the fake prom kind of picture, like Dave & Buster's.
It was like a fake Instagram.
That was cute. I like that. I saw like
Mayor Judd Ashman was there.
Judd and Neil were there, holding the sign. It was kind of funny. I liked it.
It was fun over there.
I'm sure they'll do well. I mean, everyone likes Dave & Buster's.
There's so many people there. They're
They're
gonna
right.
Yeah.
Like some games. So although White Flint closed, and I don't know, but the Silver Spring one's doing good, and this one's doing good. They're still doing good nationally, I assume. I don't keep track of all of their stores.
Yeah. Games will always be around.
Right.
So they're doing well.
Hopefully.
There's kind of a tropical smoothie cafe invasion. One opened in Bethesda, one opened in Gaithersburg, and now there's one opening in Rockville in the Trevilla Square Shopping Center. It's the third one in the county, all within like the last year or year and a half. So smoothies are making a comeback again. I went before. The smoothies are good. Sometimes it's tough to justify, paying $5, $6, $7, $8 for a smoothie. It's tough,
It's kind of a meal, though. It's like a heavy soup. It's a meal.
If I treated it as
not
a meal, sure.
Yeah.
But I end up having it, and then I eat like an hour later. So it's like I just have double the calories, triple the sugar.
It's like going to Starbucks and buying a coffee. It's you're not full, but it's good.
Yeah, so. They're trying to take the spot of coffee. They're like, you know what? Why don't you come here and say they're doing like morning happy hours?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Do they add caffeine?
They can.
Okay.
They have like a mocha smoothie and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't know. It's a cool place.
If they have a MoCo Show smoothie, now we're talking.
Then I'm
or
there.
Or a MoCo Show beer maybe
there
one
you
day.
Go. There you go.
That's something I got to show you in a little bit.
That's right.
I have like cans made up and everything.
We got the design, but don't know about the beer.
I have no idea what to put in it.
Empty can right now. This fine Pilsner we can just pour in there. No one will know the difference.
Private label.
And then closing, Fushing Cafe, which I know when I was growing up, when I was like finishing up high school, anyone that would go to Montgomery Mall for lunch would go to Fushing Cafe right next door. And now they announced they just closed their doors. July 1st was their last day, so they're done. There was rumors that someone else would be taking over, but the owner said, even if they are, it won't be our recipes. So.
Is this the place that had the Chinese chicken salad?
I don't know. It might be. It's right next to the mall, right next to the Montgomery Mall.
No, it can't be. When I was in high school, because I grew up in Montgomery County.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Stone Ridge.
Okay, cool.
I would have gone to Springbrook, which is the neighborhood I grew up in. So I went to White Oak Middle School.
Okay,
awesome.
My friends and I would hang out at Montgomery Mall, and there in the food court, there was this one restaurant there, and they had this Chinese chicken salad. I can't remember the name of the restaurant. But every time I went there, I was like, that's what I'm getting.
Was it Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken? Or that was a different one?
Oh, my Lord.
What song was that?
That's Bare Naked Lady.
That's them, yeah.
Good job, Steve.
I heard Chinese chicken. I'm like, that's...
You should just close down the...
Do you remember Ranch 1 in Montgomery Mall?
Ranch 1?
Yeah, there's a place called Ranch 1. It was there for a couple years, but I was the only person that loved it.
Was it ranch and everything? Or?
I don't know. It was just chicken. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking maybe that they had like the Chinese chicken salad. Who knows?
I don't know.
Speaking of chicken, Pollo Central.
Remember, it was going to be called Solo Pollo, which was only chicken.
But they're like, not only chicken, we want Pollo Central.
Pollo Central, opening up in Aspen Hill.
Yeah.
And it's the owners of Pollo Central, I've been told, own a couple Don Pollos in the county, so they're very familiar with chicken. They know how to do it right. I think it's going to do well in the Aspen Hill Shopping Center. It's opening up right next to Jerry's, I believe. Okay. So that's opening up in just a week or so, July 8th, I believe. I have it in the article. Check it out if you want to see. And finally, we have a rumor that was kind of confirmed. It's in the Kentlands in Gaithersburg. Tommy Joe's had opened their second location in the Kentlands. It closed down. That building's been empty for about a year, and now we're hearing CVS is coming in to take over. So CVS is something that will probably work. I mean, people go to CVS.
It's a good brand.
I don't hear of CVS is closing unless they're opening right across the street, like in Durwood or something like that.
I mean, the CVS that I go to in Wheaton has been there since I was a child, so I assume that, they've remodeled a couple of times.
What do you buy in CVS? I'm trying to think. Like, I only go when I need toothpaste, and I don't feel like going to Giant. I don't go to CVS for anything.
It's weird, but there's one brand of something I like that's a CVS brand. It's
what is it?
It's the mouthwash of the CVS Plax.
Is it green or blue?
It's the green CVS brand of Plax. Because I've tried the Plax one once. I'm like, this is okay. And I was in CVS. I was like, I'll try this. And I like it better. I was like, this is better. So I go to CVS. I buy my one thing of Plax knockoff. They're like, why is this guy in here every month buying
And
this
how long is your receipt for your one Plax?
It's very long. Although I don't buy that much, so it doesn't... People who are there every day are probably getting the big receipts, right?
Well, I started putting in...
Who goes to CVS every day?
I don't know. They are expensive.
Unless you're going to a pharmacy for a legit,
You can put your phone number in, and it'll give you
what you have,
your coupons for the day.
Right.
So I put in anyone's phone number I know every time I go, and I'm like, oh, let's see.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know. I know it's kind of messed up. No, you don't. It doesn't give them anything. It's if you're signed up, it gives you what coupons they have for you.
Right.
So sometimes I'll be like, all right, let me see what my buddy so and so has, and they'll give me $1 off Snickers, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm getting a Snickers today.
All right.
Well, so I might start doing this. That's
check it out. It's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Because usually the coupons they give you is the stuff you literally just bought.
Yes,
so you buy your toothpaste, and they're like, you get $2 off toothpaste.
I bought 2 toothpastes. That lasts months. So
yeah.
What am I buying this again?
We're
going to get you back in this. I like that. I go to Giant to get my groceries. I like that they do that with coupons. They actually give you something that
you're going to use,
that hopefully will last. I'm like, man, I just bought all this stuff. All right, I'll buy more. It's on sale. I mean, if it's paper towels, I'm like, all right, I'll buy more. Those don't go bad. But Snickers, I don't know how many you want to buy.
It was like a mini variety pack of and it was $4. It was $1 off. So I was like, all right. I mean, it's
still probably more than the one at
bad.
But hey, why not? You're here, so spend the money. So, speaking of money, I saw that Bethesda Beat put this out about the highest paid MoCo employees. And our fine Dr. Jack Smith, superintendent of schools, is your highest.
290 or 280?
2-something. He does well.
It's almost 300.
He does well. And you teachers, your principals are making a lot of money.
They are. So,
and that's a good thing, because they've all worked their way up to be principals.
They were in the high hundreds, 170, 175.
I'm like, a principal should probably be making...
They deal with a lot of...
They're there all day. That's if you go to a high school, the principal will be there at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, just walking around.
A friend of mine, her husband's a principal, and after a while, he's like, I got to get out of this. It's 70 hours a week. Everyone comes to you. And so he took a demotion to go to another school just so he could spend more time with not in the school. It's got to be a tough gig. You'll be a principal one day, right?
Never. But
no? 13 years of teaching?
No, but my 14th year coming up.
Chief Branding Officer of Montgomery County. There you go. Get chief in your name.
Exactly.
I'm the head of a department. My PE department, that's as high as I want to go. It's fun. But I actually got angry because I wrote as a joke, I might need to go into teaching in my tweet about the salaries.
You bastard! How dare you say that about teachers? They work so hard.
People were like, "You don't say that. You don't know what it takes to get me." And I'm like, actually, I do know what it takes. I've been doing it for 13 years.
Right.
Half your followers don't know that you're a teacher because you don't push it all the time. You know?
I don't. But I am. And like somebody was like, "Yeah, right, man. A teacher makes 1/5 of that." And then like I was like, "Wait a minute. Like I'm not trying to act like I make a lot of money, but like it's definitely not 1/5 of that. Like I'm pulling 6 figures right now. So like teaching for that's
money,
not bad.
But yeah, the money's okay if you. It's like a lot of government. You get increases after a while. Don't go into radio if you're looking for money either. Not much money.
That's kind of tough because you can't. It's not like if you're a good teacher, you get paid more. It's basically if you've been teaching for a long time,
exactly,
you're making a lot of money.
The thing
that's
I don't
all
get about in my job. You get a promotion based on your achievements or hard work. You know, a lot of jobs you just get a raise no matter what. Even if you like the people who suck at it get the same amount as the people who are really excel at it. That's why it's good in private business. You can reward the people who are working their asses off and doing well, and picking it up, and the people who aren't, you kind of weed them out. I would imagine in a lot of businesses. It makes sense to me that that's the way it is. I want to mention a fan of the MoCo Show who is a bigger radio star than me, Toby Knapp. And Toby is on mornings at 97.1. Wash used to be on at Hot 99.5. And he's always following our stuff. It's great. We love Toby. We appreciate his spreading the word about MoCo stories. He's a MoCo guy, lifelong MoCo guy. And we just love that, you know, he's spreading the word about MoCo stuff.
So last week, a friend of mine, Stephanie, who created the original MoCo Show logo that you see right here, she was at the pool, and she lives in the same complex as Toby Knapp. And she said she saw Toby Knapp going there, and she was like, I got to figure out a way to mention the MoCo Show to him because he keeps tweeting about it. So she did somehow, and he was like, wait, you know that guy? Yeah. So Toby wants to be on the show, so we'll get him on the show at some point soon.
I've met him a few times. We worked in the same building when we were at different stations for many years. I saw him in the elevator a couple times. I don't know if he knows me, but yeah, he loves the MoCo Show.
He wants us to do it at his pool. So I don't know how that's going to work.
In the pool? We'll be in the pool.
I got to work out a little before we do
I'll wear my
pool
shirt.
episode. Yeah. but hey, it might happen.
That's cool.
Also, over at Rio, they call themselves the Washingtonian Paddleboats, but they're not. They're pedal boats, but they call themselves Paddleboats. So anyway, they're back.
Aren't they all pedals?
They're pedals. There's no paddles.
You're not like a canoe.
It's not a paddle boat. Yeah. I mean,
I thought they were always paddle boats, but you pedal.
I thought they were. I mean, they're called paddle boats, but I thought a paddle boat was a paddle boat.
I think that's a canoe.
As a kid, I went
Isn't that like a canoe?
Yeah, what about if it's
canoe,
like a
kayak?
Yeah, when you're using the
I don't know.
I used to live in Boston, and they had like these paddle boats, but it was all you pedal. And
so
that is weird. I never thought
unless we're all pronouncing things incorrectly. I don't know.
It's Paddle,
it's
right?
paddle.
Not like Peddle.
No,
like a pedal.
Yeah,
it's paddle.
Or Pedal.
It's right. It's paddle like ping pong.
But they've had them. 35 years ago, I went as a kid in the Potomac on a paddle boat. I think they have them at Lake Whetstone, right? They have paddle boats.
Not at Whetstone. At Whetstone, they have canoes. At Needwood, they have paddle boats. And at Black Hill Park, I think they have. Okay. Or no, at Seneca Park, they have them.
But now at Rio, they have them in the
They have them back now, and for the bigger ones, you can take your dog on it. So that's kind of cool. You want your dog on there. My dog would just be shaking the whole time, but you can bring your dog if you want.
So a story you did this week that got so much attention that I can't believe it did. So Planet Fitness gives out bagels in the morning, a bagel or a half, or
once a month.
Once a month. Okay.
So people are like, why are gyms giving away bagels and pizza? It's once a month. It's not like every day you come in and you have your bagel and then you like walk on the.
They're geniuses.
I know. It might get me to a gym.
Yeah, like, why wouldn't they?
So the owners actually explained it. I watched this video, and the owners were like, one time we hit like a goal, so we offered like bagels in the morning and pizza at night, and it wasn't like. We're not trying to make anyone gain weight. They were like, we were celebrating. So the members loved it so much that we were like, hey, let's just do this once a month for all our members. So they do, and now it's spread. And Montgomery County, out of the entire country, Montgomery County said, you're violating a health code and you can't do this anymore. You can't give away the pizza and the bagels because someone's sweaty hands going in there and grabbing a slice of pizza.
Are they selling it?
No,
it's just giving it away.
They're giving
That's
it away.
like going into an office party and telling the office they can't have pizza.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
But because that's what Montgomery County said. So here's the deal they struck. Planet Fitness reached out to me personally, and they said, tell everyone about it. And I did a little video, and I told everyone about it. So if you're at the downtown Silver Spring location, you're out of luck. They have no pizza place near them that's willing to participate. But if you're at White Oak, they have Domino's a mile away. You show them your key card on the day of, they'll give you a free slice of pizza. In Rockville, Mama Lucia's got you. In Gaithersburg,
awesome.
Pizza Hut has you. In Germantown, Mangino's has you. So you're still going to get your pizza. And that's really cool of, like, the community. I think that's awesome.
It is awesome. I will also say that is infuriating.
I know. It's the worst.
I mean,
I thought it was
Planet
like an Onion
Fitness,
story when
think
you
about
put that
this
out.
for a second. Planet Fitness is giving pizza to their customers, right? But what did they do before that? They spent money at a locally owned business, whether it's Mama Lucia's or that franchise Domino's store. They're buying the pizza from those businesses and giving them to their customers.
Yeah.
And now those small businesses are giving their product away entirely.
I know.
Right? Like, it's good for the community, and I totally hear that, and I appreciate that, but
nobody wins at the end. Nobody wins in this situation.
Well, you do if you get free pizza.
No, I mean,
That's true.
No, it's one slice. It's like I
It's like
feel
$1.
for
It's not for the money. I don't think.
No, for sure. But it's
And like I have like 4 gym memberships. One of them's to Planet Fitness.
4.
I don't go to any, but but I have. But
I hope it's all trade for MoCo advertising.
I've not once seen the pizza or bagels in there. I just don't happen to be in there on those days. So like, it's not like there's not pizza and bagels floating around the gym. Everyone's like on a machine.
I gotta burn this off.
Yeah, it's not like that. So that's what a lot of people think, and I felt bad for Planet Fitness when I put out the story, but
we're not blaming them. They're just the victims of the rule. So and they're doing their best, and I applaud them.
I don't even think that's the rule, though. Maybe, hey, listen, I don't work for the health department.
So, Julie, you said you grew up in Montgomery County.
I did.
I put out a question on Twitter, and the question was, is there a MoCo accent? Not a Maryland accent, not like slang that we use, but like, do we say specific words a certain way? And
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think that there's like a vernacular. Like, there are slang words we use that like I still use,
like
even as
paddleboat.
a 40-year-old adult, where I'll use the word and someone will look at me like, "What? What are you saying?" And I'm like, "Oh, never mind. Like, you didn't grow up here."
No, I
like kirking out.
But is that
you heard that phrase?
I think that's more like DMV, right? It's not like MoCo specific.
But it's close because like my co-host Scott is from Philly. He lived there for 20 years and has lived here for 25. And he says a couple of phrases once in a while. He's like, I guess it's a Philly thing. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what are you talking about? I forget what it was, but there's a couple things like that. And we realize accents of other people, like Northeast, New York, the South, Midwest. And I got family in Alabama. And when the first time I went there, I literally couldn't understand what some of them were saying. I was like, and I asked them, I'm like, do you understand what I'm saying? They're like, yeah. Like, maybe my mid-Atlantic accent is not understandable to this person who's never heard anyone not from Alabama.
Yeah,
speaking.
I think we have like a pretty generic accent.
It's so generic it can fit in a lot of parts of the country. Like,
sure.
There's a certain Midwest one that's like we have a guy on who's from Ohio, and you can hear it. I'm like, oh my God, he's from Ohio. You can hear it in his accent. And
how do you say? All right, the county we live in. Say it. There's because somebody mentioned something, and I want to hear how you say it.
Montgomery County.
How do you say it?
Montgomery County.
All right, so here's what
is it the Mont
is
or the
there
Mont?
Any other way to say
the
it?
lady said that some people.
Montgomery.
If Montgomery. No, but
if you're on the wrong syllable.
They said that if you're from here, it's more like MUNG, like Montgomery. Like Montgomery County.
Listen, I was born and raised here. I don't say that.
Montgomery.
I
say the T. Montgomery.
How do you say crayon?
Crayon.
There you go.
Crayon.
You say
crayon.
You say
right?
crown?
No, I don't say crayon. I say
some people
crayon.
say crown though.
My wife grew up in Pennsylvania. She says cran. Cran.
Does she?
Oh, cran.
How do you say DRAWER?
Drawer.
I say drawer.
Drawer.
Some people say drawer. Like they hit the W. I'm like,
well, there's like
mean a drawer?
There's Washington.
Drawer.
Some people say Washington.
Baltimore.
But like, Baltimore. But like, I don't know. I might say Montgomery. I don't think I say the T. I don't say Montgomery.
Montgomery?
I say Montgomery.
No, I say Montgomery.
I usually say MoCo, honestly.
Yeah.
I usually just say MoCo.
But I guess there is. I guess you don't hear it unless you hear someone else saying it differently, you know? I guess maybe it is a little different, but I don't know. It's definitely not as pronounced as some other parts of the country, which you're like, oh my God, that person's from New York. I can tell right away. Or Boston.
Right.
The Canadian accent is kind of distinctive.
Just add the A all the time, but
oat in a boat.
A boat, you know? Yeah. Bret Hart would always say a boat.
So we're always learning about new things that are in MoCo that I never knew about before. I never knew we had roller derby in Montgomery County.
We do.
In Rockville, there's a women's roller derby, and it's a flat track. It's not like, do you remember old school roller derby that they used to show on PBS or something?
Where it was like on the oval track,
the oval
and then it was
track.
sort of like leaned in a little bit.
Yeah, like a race
like
car
slant.
track.
Yeah.
And they,
this one's flat and like.
I had no idea this. I saw you post about
video, that slow-mo video, like a lady jumped over another lady and then just whacks them. I was like,
there's
whoa.
dozens of people playing, and I guess they play other leagues, other counties or cities, but the Rockville roller derby.
They're doing a documentary, so watch it.
That's very cool, and you can go watch. Just Google roller derby Rockville. You'll read all about them. It's fascinating.
You know what else is in Montgomery County that not many people know about? I tweeted about this today. I said,
is what you're saying you're going to do tomorrow?
Yeah.
I was going to try to get you to say it.
I'll say it right now because this is going to come out tomorrow around noon, and then at 4 o'clock I'll be doing it. Any guesses as to what?
Is it the skydiving?
It's not. No.
He's done that already.
I've done the skydiving. The indoor indoor skydiving's whatever. It's fine. It's like no. Okay. This is like.
Have you done real skydiving?
No, I would never do that. I won't jump out of a plane.
No thanks.
But this is all right. So I'm going to be playing with kangaroos.
What?
Yeah,
that's what I said.
So not many
kangaroos. Where?
In Germantown, there's like a place called Ruse to You, and they bring their kangaroos to your house, I think, or you go
what?
Or you go to their like area, and they have
Denizens
kangaroos.
Tuesday nights trivia night.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah. You better watch out, man. You're giving me some ideas.
They have like emus and other like Australian animals, and I'm just gonna like I think there's a koala bear there. I'm just gonna be playing with them. And I'm playing with kangaroos tomorrow. So I think that is
really cool.
That's one of the coolest things you can do in Montgomery County. And I figured over 90% of people had no idea this existed.
90? I find 99. One person who did.
Yeah 99%.
I just didn't want to say 99 because then 2 people would know on Twitter and be like, technically,
I've been going to Ruse for years.
I'm 2 of 78 responses, and that's like. So I didn't want to like
you
do that.
Teachers know nothing. All right, I know.
So I'll be playing with the kangaroos, and there'll be a video up of it.
That's amazing.
John's going to be there, and we're going to be doing a video. Nice. It'll be fun. I can't wait. I hope I can hold it, man. I just want like pictures of the kangaroo.
A baby one, probably. You can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Ones, I think you can go in there. You'll go in their pouch. Yeah. Be careful. They're tough, man.
No, I know.
They can run. They're strong. Don't antagonize them. But that's very cool.
Steve, you sent me something. You were watching Law and Order SVU.
Oh, yeah.
And that post kind of blew up.
It did. I mean, it got thousands of views and likes and retweets. I'm like, this is neat because my girl loves SVU, watches it all the time, and I'll sit there and watch with her. It's okay. I like it. It's good enough.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining.
You watch the first 2 minutes you're in, though.
Yeah.
You're not.
Every show's just about the same.
What did this guy do?
Yeah.
I gotta find out.
I've probably seen 2/3 of the shows, like 300. They've been on for 21 years, like 300 or so shows. It's on all the time. Ion, USA, Channel 20. You can't get away from it. So we were watching an episode that I don't think I saw before, and they mentioned some guy was a rapist, of course, and they're like, oh, he went to school in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm like, what? So the next scene is, boom, boom, Dateline. 7904 Fenton Street, Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm like, what the hell?
There's like a field.
And it said like something field. I'm like, wait, what's going on? And they showed this guy with like Silver Spring soccer camp and a big sign, and Ice-T is right there with a big banner that says Silver Spring soccer camp. I'm like, what? How did I miss this?
Did they actually film it there?
No.
This was this like huge grassy field that just doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I Googled the address, and it's really the Fenton Urban Park. It's really the address there.
Oh, my gosh.
There's no Silver Spring soccer camp or anything. Maybe there is. I don't know. But and that was it. It was made up. That was the scene. Like, they interviewed this guy, and then they left. So it was very brief. There was like 2 minutes about Silver Spring. And I'm like, no way. That's cool.
Well, the important question is, did Spring have an S in it?
It didn't. They got it right.
Good job.
Which is the amazing thing. Like,
that's huge.
That's what everyone gets wrong. Silver Springs, because I'm born in Silver Spring.
Yeah.
I live technically still in Silver Spring. So people get that wrong all the time. They always want to Silver Springs it, like the song.
True.
I was watching a episode of King of Queens a couple of years ago, and if you're familiar with it, it's Kevin James and Doug Heffernan, and he gets a wedding invitation, and he's like, it's in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Yes.
And she's like, where? And he's like, Gaithersburg, Maryland. And they're like, they just don't feel like going to Gaithersburg, Maryland or something. But I was like, oh, Gaithersburg. I didn't do the MoCo Show at the time, so I was like recorded, and then I just sent it to like 3 people, and they were like, oh, cool. I was like, all right.
Because this one, I was like, oh, I hope they go to somewhere. And they put the little screen time. I'm like, because half the times they'll go somewhere, not even mention it. It's all audio. I'd have to like video it or something. But this was cool. They had pictures, so I thought that was cool. And I Googled Law and Order SVU Silver Spring to see if you ever wrote it, if you ever did this before, because I didn't want to do it like, oh, yeah, Steve, this is from years ago. I posted this already, you dummy. Repost. Someone will put up a meme. Posted before, you know. And one of the SVU actors is from here, went to Blair, Delaney Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He played a lawyer.
He's tweeted me. He follows the MoCo Show on Twitter. He's also been in The Wire. If you see him, he looks like a cop. So I'm gonna.
He plays a cop or a lawyer all the time.
He's a cop on everything.
He looks like a cop.
He's been on Blue Bloods. You'll see.
I'll just know when I see it.
Oh, that guy. Well, he's one of those like character actors. Like, oh, that guy. I've seen him. That guy from that thing.
He's been a cop in like 50 different things.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so for some reason in his pictures right now, he doesn't look like a cop.
Okay.
But he's been a lawyer in SVU in like 20 or 30 episodes.
Oh, yeah, that guy's totally a cop. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a cop.
I remember him from The Wire.
Yeah,
exactly. He's like a grumpy cop in The Wire.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's from here, went to Blair.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, he's a cop.
Get stuff on his face. Yeah, no, I know you're talking
He's like
about.
staying there late.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing paperwork. Yeah, he's a cop.
I was hoping he saw the tweet too, and like, oh no way.
Oh, man, he used to tweet me all the time.
Episode. He's been in a bunch, like on and off, but he wasn't the lawyer, the defense attorney. It's funny because they have the same defense attorney for every different criminal I'm like, how's that possible? But we suspend realism when we watch SVU. Something that's closing for a while that many of us may have gone on as a kid, the Glen Echo Carousel. So Glen Echo Park's been around forever. I didn't even know this. The Glen Echo Carousel's been there for 98 years, since 1921.
Wow.
I didn't know they could do carousels in 1921. I thought they'd be pushing.
There was a guy pushing.
Yeah, like in ships they used to push. But I guess they do that. The carousel's been there, and they're closing it for 9 months to spend $1 million to redo it because it's been.
How overrated are carousels?
When you're a kid, it's fun, right?
Are they?
Oh, they're awesome when you're a kid.
Man, I remember.
You know why they're fun?
I was like,
you get off the horse and run around.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Stop
walk
doing that.
backwards while it's going.
That's fun. Yeah, dangerous stuff.
Right.
You gotta
like that playground
gotta spice
thing.
It up a little, you know.
that playground thing that spins, you know.
That thing was
fun.
Insane. I can't believe. I get why they're not around anymore.
Another child.
I used to try to jump off of those things. You remember that? You try to get your friends as dizzy as possible, and like you hold on
right into it.
That's nuts.
The carousels were fun before there were. I mean,
I don't know. No. You know, carousel's overrated, and I hate to say it, but fireworks are the same thing every year. Like, give me a face. We talked about this before. Give me like a word. Like, have it say something. Like, not, oh, there it is again. Boom. Like,
it really is. Like, have you been to the mall downtown?
I have.
I haven't been in a year. Have you been?
I went as a teenager. I've not gone since.
Me too. I haven't been in 25 years because I'm like, it's hot, it's crowded, you can't see much.
Right.
No thanks. I mean, and I was like, I don't know. And we do a lot of local ones all over the place here, so you can see them here. But yeah, to me, it's the same thing. Like, it's okay. I'd rather sit inside and watch it on TV.
So many people like ask, they'll like send me like a direct message or tweet me, or they'll be like, "Hey, where are the fireworks this year?" I'm like, "The same place they've been every other year," and I can show you a video and it'll be the same thing.
Right.
And I mean, you can just stand in your closet with 3 other people if you want to just be like hot and sweaty. Like it's disgusting. I don't know. I'm not a fan. If you are, I'm sorry. I love it too.
I know
I'm just kidding.
They have the concert at the mall before that they show on PBS, which I like. It's a whole variety of different artists and stuff, and then they show the fireworks for half an hour, and literally you could show the same one every year because it's pretty much the same.
True.
I remember a couple years ago it was super foggy and rainy. You couldn't see them at all. The people who were there live were probably super pissed off, so they literally showed last year's video, and a couple times they scrolled, "This is not live, this is last year's." And no one, I doubt anyone could tell. You think there's like artistry to fireworks? I'm sure there's like someone programming it, like starburst, circle, star, repeat.
I'm sure that there are people doing that. Actually, and I know this is not right because we're on the MoCo Show, but anyone going down to see the fireworks on the mall, there's actually a really good spot to watch them in D.C., which is at the National Cathedral. There's a hill there that if you sit on the hill, it's high enough in the city that you can actually oversee and like look at all the fireworks.
Are there a lot of people there?
When I used to go, this was over 20 years ago, there weren't really. People have probably found out about it since, but there's also a lot of really, and I won't do this now as a 40-year-old, but when I was, in my 20s and dumb and just didn't think about it, they have tons of climbing trees, actually.
Okay.
You can, climb up and, no one's near you, and you can, and see all these really cool fireworks.
A lot of rooftop places, high-rise. I did that one year, a 20-story building here in downtown Silver Spring. And you go to the rooftop, and it was pretty cool. It's you're not going downtown.
Could you see Gaithersburg, and Rockville, and DC?
Yeah, you could see everything. 8 different shows from all the different places. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
We snuck to the roof of the Washingtonian Tower, Sam Eige's building. It's the second tallest building in Montgomery County. At the time, it was the tallest building in Montgomery County. We, when I was in high school, we snuck to all the way to the top. Had to break through a door somehow. It was broke. I mean, I didn't break through it, so I just walked through it and went to the top and watched them from. You can see Gaithersburg's, Rockville's. It was unbelievable. But you can't do that anymore. Cool. There's security up there.
You could probably still do it.
Don't do that.
You can't.
I guess not.
Can't do it.
Security. Worried about stuff nowadays. I saw this story. I thought it was interesting. Barbara Harrison from NBC is semi-retiring, and she's been there for 38 years. And she's done a million stories in MoCo, so I thought it was relevant. And I couldn't believe how many different things. She's done Wednesday's Child forever. She's gotten hundreds of kids adopted and find homes. I was like, this is amazing. And they did this whole thing where they reunited kids from 25 years ago who are now successful adults with her. It was super cool. They did a whole tribute to her. And I thought that was amazing because she's been, I don't know how many people are at the same place for 38 years still doing, especially in media. It's very rare. So she's done a ton for the community, and she's semi-retiring because she's in her 60s now, and she's like, I'm tired of doing this crap every day. Let me semi-retire. So she's going to do feature stuff once in a while on her own schedule. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I've been watching her since I was a little kid, and she's done a lot of cool stuff. So I thought that was very cool. You've seen kangaroos tomorrow, but you saw other animals.
I did
over the weekend, right?
I went to Butler's Orchard, and I went to go blueberry picking, and on the way up there, we went with my wife's friend, and my wife's friend's daughter, who's 2.5.
I was going to ask you who that kid was.
Yeah.
I was like, you didn't have kids yet.
That's Charlie, and
okay.
Charlie was going blueberry picking, but on the way up, we wanted to go see the animals. But you get really close. You can pet them. I've actually sheep have wool, right? It's a sheep.
Sheep have wool. Yes.
All right. So it felt like it had like a sweater on, like a wool sweater.
Wool sweaters.
No, I know, but it felt like an actual wool. I thought it was going to be like softer. I don't know. I don't remember petting a sheep.
I don't either. I don't think.
So you could pet them. The pig. You can literally
was cute.
like. You can
a little one. It wasn't like a.
Yeah, he was a little chubby guy, and and then you can go to the goats. Like will eat right out of your hand, and they're like gentler than any dog ever. They're just like they grab it softly from your hand.
I didn't even know they had that at Butler's.
Me either.
I've been there to pick apples and blueberries a couple times.
Yeah.
And they have mini donkeys too, the miniature ones, like
That's
from
cool.
Robin Big, if you remember those. But like, you can pet those too. Like you just reach over and pet them, and it doesn't say like don't pet them. They just don't do anything to you.
Are they the mini like little Sebastian from Parks and Rec?
Kind of.
Was that a donkey? What was that?
I think it was a mini donkey, right?
Was it? I don't know.
I think so. Could have. I don't know.
I know they have mini horses.
Maybe.
This might have been a mini horse. I don't know.
Like in that commercial with
smaller than me. I mean, I think if I had to ride it, I could. But like, I don't think it'd be like.
I think so.
But he wouldn't like it.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. He'd be like, all right.
Oh
like,
my God, you're so heavy. I don't think you can ride a mini horse unless you're a little kid.
He was. It was like he was a little bigger than a mini. Like my feet wouldn't be touching the ground if I like held him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. I don't know.
That's funny, though.
But yeah, it was a good time, and I got some good blueberries too.
Because they have like horse riding at the Brookside Gardens there, the stables right across, I think. But I think even that has like a weight limit. Like I don't know if adults. I'm 220. I don't know if I could do it. I think it's like.
I don't know.
Or less or something.
I don't know, but I kind of want to go. Do they have to hold it, or can I like go?
No, they hold it. So come on.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know, like on my own around.
All right, John Wayne.
You're gonna go renegade and like end up in Brookside Gardens? I don't think they'd like that very much.
I'm not a horse around.
Do they know,
take it down like Lay Hill.
That's how people used to do it.
Stained glass pub.
I wonder if there's anyone in MoCo still commuting with horses.
There's people in Damascus. I'm not like making fun of Damascus, but I've literally seen people crossing the street in Damascus on a horse. Yeah. But I think they're going like from one farm to another. They're not like, oh, I'm just going to go to my friend's house.
Right next to the e-cars, you can put your horse for like. Yeah. I guess you can park it there. A station for the horse. I don't know, but it makes sense. That's cool. All right, well, that'll do it for us today. I want to thank Julie for having us. This was fun.
Thanks for having me. This
we
is great.
appreciate it. And check out Denizens in downtown Silver Spring.
And their party.
For the 5th anniversary.
July 13th.
And trivia night every Tuesday. And have your corporate party here or private events.
You'll have plenty of directors and chiefs and
chief branding officer.
Exactly.
Don't call her a co-founder or co-owner. She's the chief branding officer, darn it. So don't say anything else. No, but this was cool. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next week.